Hi again, welcome back to my channel. This is Kels and I'm happy you're watching. In today's video, we are going through my current favorite overpowered manhwas. These manhwas, the MCs has godlike powers and doesn't back down from a fight. However, this list doesn't have some of the super duper popular manhwas like Solar Leveling, God of High School, etc. So you won't be seeing those honorable mentions. As always, these are my personal picks and opinions. Hope you enjoyed this top 10 list of OP manhwas. Let's jump right in. All right, coming in at number 10 is Rebirth of an Eighth Circle Wizard. This is a revenge plot. This time you have the most powerful Eighth Circle Mage, Henry Morris, who was betrayed by his king and executed due to the king fearing his power. However, he reincarnated into the body of a young boy with the same name, believe it or not, in the same timeline. So Henry, armed with his knowledge and magical prowess, he sets out on a revenge quest and a quest for greatness and redemption to clear his name. Overall, the storyline is interesting in the beginning. Some parts are drawn out and some of Henry's character traits are questionable, somewhat like a thug, but it's a solid read overall. Hope you enjoy our number 10 pick. At number 9, folks, we have The Great Mage Returns After 4,000 Years. In this manhwa, our protagonist, Lucas Truman, awakens from being sealed for 4,000 years as Frey Blake, a boy who was bullied relentlessly and in despair took his own life. Now, with Lucas Truman's knowledge, who was the greatest level 9 archmage to ever lived in that time period, he navigates through a world filled with danger and intrigue and gets stronger to fulfill some of Frey's wishes and also to fulfill the original mission Lucas had. This manhwa excels on the revenge plot for both Lucas and Frey. It's intriguing, action-oriented plot with some very hilarious moments due to Lucas's personality. He has a genuine love for older women. It shines throughout the plot. However, overall, this is a solid read, and the development of the character and their path takes on an interesting twist. So overall, good read at number 9. For number 8, we have Leveling with the Gods. This takes us on an epic journey of our MC Kim Hoo-won, who had time rewound after losing the fight with the gods in the tower, so he regressed. Thus, he started over the journey again of climbing the tower and rebuilding his skills and friendships that he had from his previous life using the knowledge he had before. This again is another action-packed storyline of fighting monsters and leveling up and dealing with other players with a terrible personality, or MC personality can be questionable. However, overall, a very good read for an overpowered manhwa at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is Superhuman Battlefield, which centered on OMC Seo Moon-yub. After being written off as a dead hero, he returns falling on his heroic remember statue 17 years later after being told he's died. He still returned with all his skills, but the world's at peace and there's no longer fighting within the dungeons. They fight now in a sports arena called Battlefield. Seo returned and all his belongings were donated. He is an hilarious character with a personality trait that matches. He doesn't listen to no one. He marched to his beat of his own drum. But with his analytical eye, he started helping out in the new Battlefield sport. Overall, I really like this story. The MC says whatever is on his mind and does whatever he wants and beats anyone to a pulp who doesn't listen. So take with that as you will for what you're getting into reading this. Now for a number 6 pick. At number 6 is Reincarnation of the Suicidal Battle God. This is another regression story of the MC losing another fight, this time to the demon lord Tartarus. He's sent back to when he was a slave and was being controlled. So he got sent back in time to when he was younger. To get stronger, he took out loans on his organs. That was quite interesting to see. But that was the only way to get the potions he needed. So his organs became collateral. The MC works to get stronger while dealing with shady people and corrupt leaders from the temple and everywhere around him. It's quite a twisted plot. But while plotting his revenge against Tartarus and helping his friend Ned, they have a beautiful friendship, who he knew previously. He developed and he started getting stronger. And overall, this is a really good read. And the MC has a good personality that just working and charging forward towards his goal. Now we are in our top 5 countdowns. Thank you for sticking with me this far. And for number 5 is the heavenly demon can't live a normal life. But I really say he doesn't really want to live a normal life. If you read the story and see the choices he makes, you realize that he really doesn't. RMC was a brutal ruler over Murim who grew up with a terrible childhood, with a terrible father, and just a terrible siblings all around. He got reincarnated as a baron's blacksmithing son named Roman Dmitri. Roman, who was thought of as an idiot, where they wanted to remove him as the heir from his father. However, he went on to build his own night force with the support of his father, who has some regrets towards him because he had written him off and treated him like an idiot. And now he sees that he's getting accomplishments and he wants to support him with those accomplishments, which is a stark contrast to the flashback of his previous life and how his father threw him in pretty much a dungeon to fend for himself and to survive. It shows how he develops his relationship with his father and his attendant who cares for him. However, he goes to war with those who cross him. He has a very black and white personality. It's a fence. Either you're on the right side of the fence or you're outside of the fence for him. And if anyone disrespects him, he has no problem in brutality and revenge against anybody who disrespects him or his people. Overall, Roman is an overpowered, no-nonsense MC who's full of himself. He quite literally thinks of himself as the top at all times. However, he's devoted to his followers and he's very ruthless to his enemies and holds strong grudges. He is a saying that we like that: repay kindness, but repay grudges tenfold. And he really does repay grudges tenfold. The revenge arcs are quite entertaining due to his brutality and due to his personality, and he doesn't switch up. He's consistent throughout the story, which makes it quite entertaining to read for an OP character. And it's also quite entertaining how hilarious he is based on just his personality. Now for number 4, we have Transcension Academy. This manhwa follows our MC Seo Jun, who was trying to attend a hunter academy but met some misfortune. In general, he's broke, and misfortune follows the broke. And he had an accident where he had to use all his money, which makes him even more broke. However, things changed when he got a message on his phone to become an awakener by joining Transcension Academy, which is from another dimension. So he joined. He pressed the ad, and now he's into this dimensional academy. By taking lessons, Seo Jun became very OP quickly. And some around him are not impressed by him becoming so overpowered, and everyone's trying to figure out how is he so overpowered and how is he so overpowered so fast. It's quite hilarious to see the Saints' reaction to how strong he is to comparison to themselves, who are supposed to be the best of the best. Which led to an interesting fight when he was supposed to get his ranking, S rank, A rank. He had to beat the living crap out of a guild leader who wanted to suppress him. They all formed a coalition that he should get the top rank, so they wanted to suppress him, and he didn't hold back in the way he beat the guild leader to oblivion. Overall, the MC has an enjoyable personality. His obsession with money is hilarious. He sees money, he sleeps money, he sings money. Everything is money. And he swindles everyone for money. If he can get $10 more out of you, he'll get $1 million. This is a great read with a fun arc, and his partnerships, all his comrades, they're also fun personality as well, how they just accepts his craziness. So that's our number 4, Transcension Academy. We are almost there. For our number 3 spot, we have Clever Cleaning. This is a story for anyone who loves an MC with a messed up personality in a good way. It didn't start off good, but it transitioned to a good way that his personality became. The plot starts off with Kim Jin-woo, a top hunter, being killed and regressing 10 years to being a cleaner, the lowest of the low position. So think of our MC being a top hunter, top position with a messed up personality. You can see why he got killed, how terrible he was to everyone around him. And to survive, for his heart not to stop and him dying, he has to work as a cleaner, the grunt job that nobody wants. For Kim Joo to survive, he has to work as a cleaner and do tasks, and he hates it, which makes the plot even more entertaining. His hunter powers are suppressed. However, when he meets certain conditions, they are released, and he annihilates whatever stands in his way. He goes to town whenever he gets his powers back. Remember that terrible personality? Well, that doesn't change much. However, he's less of a jerk to the ones on his team and protects them. And really, you see his terrible personality shines to those who in charge, who tries to backstab his team or to take away that's what's rightfully theirs. I really like the story on how he goes all out to protect his team while screwing over everyone who messes with him, but also on his character development from what he was before to the leader he became now. So that's our number 3 spot, Clever Cleaning. For number 2, we have Return to Mount SAC. It seems we have a lot of returners and regressors on this list, and honestly that's not surprising because that's normally how you have an OP character, is they returned with their powers or got reborn with knowledge of their powers. Anyways, this story is about Changmyang, the Plum Blossom Saint of the SAC, who returned in the form of a young boy after 100 years. So there's 100 years time skip from his timeline. When he returned to his SAC, it was on the verge of ruin. Their martial arts was lost, they were getting beaten up, and the disciples were weak and on the verge of starving. They were eating grass predominantly, or something that's close enough to grass, no meat. The other sects and people which he died protecting had taken advantage of Mount SAC, since most of the masters died in the war and they didn't have the knowledge or the wherewithal to protect themselves. This made him fuming mad because he died protecting these folks and his masters as well. He started by unlocking the vault, which gave the sect gold and claims to the property that was stolen. Then he worked on making the disciples stronger, most of the time against their will. The way he trained the disciples to become stronger was by force. They were forced to become stronger or die, pretty much. And this combination of strength was shown in the competition against the Southern Edge sect. Overall, Changmyang is a great character read. He has a twisted and terrible personality, but he really loves the sect and he really loves his disciples, so it makes it fun regardless. Finally, thank you for sticking with us. Our number 1 pick is the Celestial Return from Hell. This is another returner story. RMC was trapped in the abyss, so he returned from the abyss, where he was fighting monsters due to a summoning error, which he didn't realize there was a mistake in his summoning. He's not the brightest bulb or a genius. Honestly, RMC is a dimwit. He really is the epitome of all muscle, no brain. That is him. However, he's very big on exercising and improving his martial arts. Frankly, he's obsessed with working out and training. He puts in training and working out into everything he does, which is kind of crazy. And since he's trapped in the abyss, he trained so much and got so strong, he became a god. So when he returned to Earth, he was a god. Once he's able to return to Earth and he's super OP, there all the fun begins. His interaction with his comrades are hilarious because now he's young and they're much older than him. And how he goes about challenging other Celestials are a lot of fun because he's in the God Wars now and trying to take over territory and trying to enhance his Celestial's power. Overall, this is such a fun read. If you can get behind our MC's dim-wittedness, It has a slower start, but RMC is extremely OP, like very OP, and a fun character. So check out our number 1 pick. Thank you. Again, thank you for watching my top 10 list of OPMCs. I hope you found something new and that you can read and enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this list. And as always, happy reading.